California. Now, my radio show with Rick Garcia.
Bring it up, Patrick. Come on.
It's Friday.
Crank that music up. Here we go.
We need a camera on Patrick.
I don't want to sound like an old guy, but you can't beat that stuff from the 70s. I'm just saying.
You know what? I have to agree with you. Let's do it, Patrick. Patrick, do you agree?
I do agree,
come on,
actually.
you're
And
just
how
saying
old are
that.
you?
I am 24 years
He's
old.
just saying that.
See?
Hey, happy Friday, everybody.
Happy
April
Friday.
Duran, Patrick Suika, we're here going to take you into the weekend and hopefully make it an enjoyable Friday for you. First of all, Patrick Suika, where does that come from? I've always been curious about your last name.
So my last name is actually Polish, Rick. It's from Poland, from my dad's. Actually, Suika is actually the Americanization of the Polish last name. It's actually in Polish. My dad told me this one.
Yeah.
It's pronounced Svietza.
Svietza.
Oh, Svietza.
I personally think it sounds so much more cooler, and he's like, no,
Svietza.
it's
I like
fine.
that. You can tell people that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, use
You're
it.
supposed to.
Yeah, it's like, I am
Tell
Patrick
people.
Svietza.
Did you guys have a great week?
We did.
Yeah.
I
How about
did.
you, Patrick?
Yeah, I my week was really, really good. Got paid, had a lot of fun.
Got
you know,
paid.
It's Friday.
You know you're in your early 20s when that got paid.
Yes, it's
Nothing
Friday.
else matters, right?
There's a song about that. It's Friday, just got paid.
Yeah. Welcome to my radio show. I'm Rick Garcia. We want to remind you that you can catch us on AM 1220, which if you're driving right now, that may be how you're listening to us. Also at 98.1 FM. You can also watch us on Facebook Live at KHTS Radio. Hi, Facebook. How are you guys?
Hello.
And you can find my radio show on YouTube and the My Radio Show podcast, which they will put together for you after this show airs. But if you want to, I think the best way to listen to this show live is the KHTS radio app.
Absolutely nice and clear, and you could hear us anywhere if you're anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. Hi, world. And also on hometownstation.com, you can watch it live if you're sitting at work. I highly recommend that, by the way.
Yes, yes.
If you want to be distracted, listen to us at work.
Absolutely.
Or watch.
Yeah, you can pretend you're working. Just kidding. We don't want you to get in trouble. But please, and KHTS Radio on Facebook, if you're tuning in, drop us a line. Say hello. We'll give you a shout out. And we want some feedback, and we're excited to hear from you.
Yeah, there's also the old-fashioned way. If you want to be part of the show, you can call us. They have these things that are
Please.
called telephones. And if you dial the number 661-298-5487, 661-298-5487, we'd love to take your phone calls also to talk about all things sports and pop culture and entertainment. You guys ready to go?
Yes, let's do
All right,
this.
Time for My Headlines.
My headlines.
All right, My Headlines are brought to you by Western Bagel. A huge weekend series opens up out at Dodger Stadium tonight. I am so fired up. The two best teams in Major League Baseball lock horns when the Dodgers host the New York Yankees. Hyunjin Ryu is going to pitch against James Paxton, and you can hear that game here on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. The injury to DeMarcus Cousins has forced the Lakers to hold auditions for a center. Dwight Howard, who arguably underachieved in his previous time in L.A., and Joakim Noah will have workouts for the Lakers if they haven't already, by the way. Center JaVale McGee is also on the roster. The Rams lose a potential starter at linebacker to a pectoral injury. Micah Kiser underwent surgery, and he's going to be out a long time, according to Rams head coach Sean McVay. The Rams, by the way, host the Denver Broncos in a preseason game Saturday night at 6 p.m. at the Coliseum. And the Chargers still without running back Melvin Gordon. Gordon is holding out for a new contract and says he's waiting by the phone for a call from the team. Could be a long wait. The Chargers host Seattle in Carson on Saturday night at 7 p.m. All right, let's dive into some of these stories. We want to talk about the injury to, I guess I'm going to say, little-known Micah Kiser. This is a young draft pick on the part of the Rams. He was going to battle for a spot at inside linebacker for the Rams this season. Very good chance that he would be a starter. The Rams were at least counting on him to be at least in the mix. He's out of Virginia. Kiser was injured in the team's preseason game against Dallas last week, and they were in Hawaii for that game. He underwent pectoral surgery on pectoral, the chest area. And a lot of times when guys tear that, it's usually lifting. And that could have contributed to it, but he injured it during the game. Rams head coach Sean McVay called it a significant injury, but he says that that won't change how the team plays this preseason.
We've really thought long and hard about what we think is the best approach for our team, and I think you've got to always try to avoid some of these things that do occur. But this is a game that, entails a lot of physical, things that can occur, whether it be out at practice during some of the games. And part of it is, we do utilize these as evaluation tools, especially for guys that have a chance to be situational starters, and that's where Michael was putting himself in a position to be. And you hate it for him because he's worked so hard and he's done such a great job. But I don't think you can let it change the approach when we've tried to be so intentional about that already. And I'm not going to let one situation affect the way that we go about it as we move forward.
Okay, so moving forward, the way the Rams have been doing things is I think 22 of their starters didn't even make the trip to Hawaii.
Yeah, that's what you were saying last week.
They didn't want to take any chances with those guys. So the Rams, they started this last season, and as a Rams fan, I was a little uncertain when Sean McVay said, I'm going to rest my starters, my starting quarterback and my starting running back will not play in any preseason games. He got criticized for that. And I think a lot of people felt, listen, your team is going to be rusty when the regular season rolls around. It turns out they weren't very rusty, and they wind up going to the Super Bowl as a result. So before I pose this question to you, I just want to Exhibit A, Your Honor. There was a preseason game yesterday, and I want to point out that about half, if I read this right, about half the NFL's quarterbacks have not seen any preseason action. One of them did. His name's Cam Newton.
Oh, right, Cam Newton, yeah.
Pretty darn good quarterback for the Carolina Panthers.
Right.
He sprained his ankle in the team's game yesterday against New England, and now they're not sure if he's going to be available for that first opening season game. Now, the question is, there are two schools of thought out there. One is don't practice during the preseason. You don't need it. Just have some really good practices and a couple of practices where you practice with other teams. And then there's also talk that there might not be any more preseason games in the future, and maybe they'll just extend the regular season. I'm just curious if there really is a need for preseason anymore.
Well, okay, so I am a huge football fan, but I don't know all the statistics. I don't know much. I'm still learning. But I've always heard that preseason games really don't matter. I know my brother and my dad, they don't really tune in. So I tune in because I love watching, the sport. But I know a lot of people who don't even watch the games.
I agree. Most people, I think, don't care about preseason games. I will tell you this. I'm a season ticket holder.
Lucky.
I watch preseason games because I want to see who the up-and-coming players are, the guys that are going to be the depth players, or maybe there is a position battle where they need to find a new starter. So I watch it, but I'm very, very rare. Patrick, second row.
So I actually don't like preseason either, just like April. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count. However, from a team standpoint, we do need preseason, not for starters. I agree that we should probably take starters more out of it. I mean, rust is all about it's getting rusty in the team. That's all about how seasons will be. But I think we need preseason to battle out, the rest of your roster, your second, third, and even fourth strings,
point.
And even your rookies.
So they're going to make cuts at the end of preseason down to 53-man rosters. They're at 90 right now. That's a lot of guys you have to cut.
Of people.
Then once they get to 53, they get to add, I think, another 12 back to what they call the practice squad. Those are guys that will practice with the team every single week, but they don't get to play in a game unless they become activated or put on the regular roster.
Okay.
Again, how do you judge a player if you don't have any preseason games? How do you find out who's going to be your quarterback or your running back or your wide receiver or your lineman of the future if you don't get a chance to look at them during preseason games?
Then you just answered the question. So preseason is needed, right? Even though they're saying they want to take it away, or there's a chance they may.
So I think what they're thinking is let's get rid of 2 preseason games and then let's create an 18-game regular season as opposed to 16 games. Now a lot of the players are saying, we're not. You're not getting 2 more games out of us. But that's revenue. Now the 4 preseason games, they sell tickets to those games. The Rams have 2 preseason games, albeit one was in Hawaii, but they sold tickets to those games.
That's money.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, personally, though, I think from a fan perspective, having 18-game season, of regular season, that's absolutely, awesome. However, players' side, of course they're not going to like that because that's more of a chance of them getting injured and that could be injuries just for themselves or even losing out on a contract, or that could be just loss of a lot of figures of money.
Well, yeah, that's probably the way they think about it in the long term.
What do you think? Do you think preseason?
I like it. I mean, I like it, but I'm a I'm a pro football nerd in that I really pay attention 12 months out of the year. So even when they have an off season, I'm looking at every story I can to find out who they may get as a free agent or who looks like they're about to retire or who on the team is an up-and-comer. But I'm rare. I have to admit, I'm in a small group.
Well, then I guess we're in the same company, Rick, as I myself am also a huge football nerd, and I pay
But
attention.
you don't pay attention. But you said you don't pay attention to preseason.
No, I don't
You
pay
can't
attention.
change your mind in this show.
No, I don't pay attention to everybody on preseason. I pay attention to my teams,
Okay.
but I can only pay attention so much. It's like it gets arduous at times.
Let's. We need to get into the soap opera world again now.
Oh,
You guys
here
ready
we
to
go.
talk about a soap opera?
What do you have for us?
More Anthony Brown drama for the Raiders. This was a weird week for the Raiders. And, Anthony Brown, remember, he had frostbitten feet that kept him out of practice for a little while because he went into a cryogenics chamber and wound up with frostbitten feet. Then he said, I don't want to wear the new helmets that the NFL is requiring us to wear. I want to wear my old one. Then the NFL said, you have to wear a certified helmet, an approved helmet. Otherwise, you're going to get fined every day that you don't show up for practice. So he showed up for a moment. And then a moment later, he went back home and said, no, I'm not going to play unless I get the helmet I want. So after a while, the Raiders general manager, he's a first-year general manager for the team, used to be an analyst at ESPN, Mike Mayock, had enough.
Here's the bottom line. He's upset about the helmet issue. We have supported that. We appreciate that. Okay, but at this point, we've pretty much exhausted all avenues of relief. So from our perspective, it's time for him to be all in or all out. So we're hoping he's back soon. We got 89 guys busting their tails. We are really excited about where this franchise is going, and we hope AB is going to be a big part of it starting week 1 against Denver.
So that's Mike Mayock, the general manager of the Raiders. Once the team makes its point, it's time for the player to react. In this case, Anthony Brown did it through his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, who was hoping to smooth things over and said, hey, his client is all in.
I've talked to Mike multiple times yesterday. We are on the same page. We are working together. We understand the club's frustration. We understand that they want Antonio back. We get all of that. And everyone, please understand that he wants to be there. It is difficult for him to practice, take hits, whatever, with a piece of equipment that he's never used before. And so that's why we're trying to iron this out so everything can go smoothly the rest of the season. We're looking for a permanent solution. Well, I think, in my opinion, I'm confident we're going to find a solution out. Whether it's a different helmet, whether it's the same helmet, we're going to find a solution here, Mike. There's really no if. Ultimately, it's going to be Antonio's decision, but I know that he wants to play football. He wants to be a part of the Raiders. We're just trying to work it out so that he's got the right equipment and he can feel safe. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be. I believe we're going to get this worked out in time for him to be there.
That is Drew Rosenhaus, the agent for Antonio Brown. And Brown did return to the Raiders training camp, much to the happiness of Raiders coach John Gruden, although it's always very hard to know if John Gruden is happy. Listen.
Is that a joke or what? Yeah. Yeah, he's all in. That's what he said.
Did he practice that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I gotta ask about that helmet.
Yes, he did. Yep.
Is it a new helmet?
It's a certified helmet, Vic. So he's all in, ready to go. That's my understanding, and really happy to have him out here. He's a great player.
So if you don't sense any excitement from John Gruden, I just want to point out that Gruden, while he's not an old guy, he is an old school guy. So his style of coaching is he doesn't take anything from players. He's not a big fan of players who try to gain a lot of attention.
I was just going to say that. I've been biting my tongue. Publicity stunt. This is, for a person who doesn't know much about Raiders or Raiders players or football in that respect, now I know Brown. I know Brown because of all this, stuff that he's doing. So I think it's a publicity stunt. And
he's one of a handful of players in the NFL who we now call divas, and they very often tend to be wide receivers.
They need to create a new name.
Sometimes they're running backs. This guy's been a pain in the butt, and I think after a while, if you're a team, you're like, enough is enough. We don't. Yeah. I will say this, arguably the best receiver in the NFL.
Yes.
Is it worth it though?
That's the thing, though, Rick, because he's like, just look at what he's done with the Steelers. He's absolutely been like the top-notch wide receiver, but in his own head, he just can't get out of his own way. It's like, remember the Terrell Owens era back when he was on the Cowboys, where he's like the interviews with Tony Romo, like, that's my quarterback, man. Where he and like eating popcorn in the stands after a touchdown, like that was at least entertaining. AB's just not even entertaining.
But let me give you an example. Do you ever hear stories like this out of Patriots camp?
No.
The greatest franchise in NFL history. Bill Belichick, if you fumble a punt, will cut you the next day.
Oh, okay.
And
So
you don't have guys like that in New England.
There's repercussions over there. They have rules.
And I think that's where Gruden is. Now, he needed to have an amazing athlete on his team to go along with his quarterback, Derek Carr. But, I just don't know how long he's going to put up with this guy. We'll find out, though.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, the Dodgers seem headed to another World Series appearance, thanks in part to their most valuable player candidate. My chat with Cody Bellinger. Plus, we are dying to give away some free stuff. My radio show with Rick Garcia is brought to you by Western Bagel.
But you're taking shots at me like it's Patron, and I'm just like, damn. It's 7 a.m. Say it in the street, that's a knockout. But you say it in a tweet, that's a cop-out.
The City of Santa Clarita's free Concerts in the Park series, presented by Logix Federal Credit Union, is back and better than ever. Taking place every Saturday night throughout July and August, the 2019 series features amazing musical acts, including the Replicas and Fleetwood Mac tribute band Mirage. Food and refreshments are available on site. All concerts start at 7 p.m. at Central Park. For this year's full lineup, please visit santa-clarita.com/concerts.
There are times when nothing else will do because you know exactly what you want. You want the Alamo, the taste of true Mexican cooking at its best. At Alamo, you're treated to a taste that is truly Mexican with an atmosphere to match. Enjoy a Cadillac margarita, try a mucho burrito, or sizzling fajitas. Voted the best Mexican food in the SCV and a favorite of former supervisor Mike Antonovich. Alamo Rotisserie in Granary Square, serving Santa Clarita for over 30 years.
Set sail with the SS Lark in a cruise-themed fundraiser packed with live entertainment, great food, fun, games, and dancing as Lark Ranch celebrates their 60th anniversary. Proceeds benefit Lark's residential and day programs and services. Lark Ranch in picturesque Bouquet Canyon just past Vasquez Canyon Road provides a safe home environment for more than 100 developmentally disabled adults. Tickets are $125. The fun happens on Sunday, September 22nd at 1 p.m. Details at larkfoundation.org. That's L-A-R-C, Lark with a C, foundation.org.
Starting a landscape project? SCV Water is available to help you from start to finish. At their free gardening classes, you'll learn planning, design, and budget, plant selection and care, irrigation and maintenance, sustainable landscape basics, and so much more. Visit yourscvwater.com for a schedule of free gardening classes. That's yourscvwater.com.
It's back, bigger and better than ever. The Rally Kia Arena Event Demolition Derby returns to the Antelope Valley Fair Sunday, August 25th at 6 p.m. Tickets start at just $15 and include free fair admission. This classic action-packed event will thrill both young and old alike. Enjoy the last day of the 2019 Antelope Valley Fair at the action-packed Demo Derby. Purchase your tickets today at avfair.com. This is a paid grandstand event. Antelope Valley Fair presented by IBEW and NECA.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Hometown.
All day long, constantly.
Your hometown station. 98.1 FM and AM 1220. Hometown.
Santa Clarita News.
Your community connection.
News Director Devin Miller with a live update on the Stanford fire. So the fire has been stopped at about a quarter acre right off of Avenue Stanford and the 5 freeway. So there is a SIG alert issued on the northbound 5, just north of Magic Mountain Parkway for the number 3, 4, and 5 lanes of the northbound 5. So it is a slow go from the Newhall Pass through the 126 due to this fire. But again, the forward progress has been stopped about a quarter acre. For more on this story, head to our website, hometownstation.com.
All right, I know we've been sweating all week long. It's been really hot. Summer is still going on. Right now, though, currently it is a nice 82 degrees in Santa Clarita, but hold on to your hats because we're going to get up into the mid-90s on the weekend and for the rest of next week. And that is your weather right here, your hometown station.
And I feel for those people on the 5 that are maybe trying to get out of town for the weekend.
That's got to be horrible.
Yeah, trying to get a head start, but things are clearing up. We're actually on Facebook Live. If you check out our Facebook, KHTS Radio, we have a reporter live on the scene, Jade Abushan. So we actually have a live look at the fire right now. Looks like they're making quick work. They're doing what's called a mop-up, so
that's good news.
Things should be pretty quickly moving on that 5 pretty soon.
Thanks, Devin. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Welcome back to my radio show. I'm Rick Garcia, and we're with April and Patrick here, too. April, we'd like to get some folks involved in the show here. How can we do that?
Well, first of all, you can jump on Facebook. We are Facebook Live on KHTS Radio. Comment, ask a question. I feel like people are out there and they're watching us, but they might be a little. Let's say hi.
A couple of them, yeah.
Let's say hi to them. Okay, we have Anna. She said hi, and of course she said go Rams.
Where's she from, by the way? Is Anna from? She doesn't say, huh?
Oh, you know what? I can't really see it on here, but
so go Rams. I
go
agree
Rams.
with her.
We have a lot of Rams comments here, so this is great. I guess they're starting to pick up that we're Rams fans. We have Lori, who also said go Rams.
Yeah.
Hi, Lori. How are you? And Donald, who said go Rams! Exclamation! Exclamation! Exclamation!
Well, that's a little more than just go Rams. And I would say to you folks, don't be afraid to ask us a question.
Or call in, too.
Call in. We can have you call us at 661-298-KHTS. I get the social media thing, too. But when you post, and we're going to mention your name and mention that if you just want to say go Rams, that's fine. But also ask us a question about the Rams if you'd like, or anything regarding sports, because we'd like to have you participate in the show with us as well. So,
and I have a personal little fan here. Andrew said, looking good, April Duran. Go Dodgers. Go Belly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cody Bellinger, right. We're going to, in fact, it's perfect timing for that. You ready for Rick's replay?
Rick's replay.
Dodgers hosting the Toronto Blue Jays last night. They only managed one hit through the first 8 innings, and then, as they have done much of the season, they turned it on in dramatic fashion, down 2-0 in the 9th inning. A 2-run double by Corey Seager tied the game. Then on Kike Hernandez bobble night, Kike blooped a single, scoring Seager. The Dodgers beat Toronto 3-2, their 12th walk-off victory of the season. Tonight, they begin a battle of the Titans. They're going to take on the New York Yankees at Dodger Stadium, and you can hear that game here on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. First pitch tonight is at 7:10. Did somebody say Belly? I think I heard somebody say Belly.
Andrew did.
Yeah. I had a chance to go out to Dodger Stadium with the KHTS sports team earlier this week to grab some interviews with Dodger players, and we're going to share those over the next couple of weeks on my radio show with Rick Garcia, and we'll also put the features on hometownstation.com as well. Today, we chat with their most valuable player candidate, Cody Bellinger. We talked about everything from how to stay focused when you're running away with the division. And also, I wanted to chat a little bit about his life as a Little League baseball player. Here's Dodgers outfielder Cody Bellinger.
You know, I was thinking as I'm looking at the standings, I'm trying to figure out what to say to you guys when I come out here today. 18 and a half games up, 19-20. Different than the last 2 seasons where you were, fighting for playoff position. How's the focus different?
I think it's the same focus. I don't know. I think once the game starts, you're playing the same game that you've been playing. So no different preparation this year around than other years.
I was thinking about you guys, too, with the Little League season in full swing, the playoffs. I think people think you guys just show up out of nowhere and you're these superstars. You remember your Little League days?
Yeah, for sure. I like watching Little League World Series. It always brings back good memories. So.
What's your advice to those young people that are out there, busting it right now, praying and hoping every night that they're going to be the next Cody Bellinger?
I would just say keep going. No matter your height or your weight. I was tiny in the Little League World Series. I was, pretty small in high school. Didn't grow till later on. So just keep playing and keep having fun with it.
Don't give up. And Cody Bellinger this season compared to last season, what's different?
For me or for the team?
For you.
Just more confident in what I'm doing, and two great hitting coaches that helped me along the way. So just been a combination of things.
Robert grew up down the street from where this studio is from. What do you think of him?
He's been great. There's not one way to hit, so he doesn't preach one way to hit. He, works through everyone and what makes them good, and just tries to work every day. It's hard being a hitting coach, so him and Brandon do a great job.
That's Cody Bellinger of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and we mentioned the name Robert. Robert Van Scoyoc is one of the hitting coaches for the Dodgers. He went to Hart High School, not far from here, and he
That's super
also
cool.
had a nice hitting academy here in Santa Clarita where he would help a lot of young people learn how to become hitters, and there he is, man, right in the middle of what's been an incredible season for the Dodgers, but also for Cody. Now, he's in the running for most valuable player. His National League stats are he's batting .317, which is third in the National League. He has 42 home runs. Going into last night, that was tied for first in Major League Baseball. That was number one in the National League, but he was tied with Mike Trout in the American League. And he has 100 RBIs, which in the National League puts him tied for second. Now, here's the great news about Cody. He's 24 years old. I mean, that's incredible. By the way, it should be pointed out, I mentioned Little Leaguers to him because he actually played in the Little League World Series for his Chandler, Arizona team. And he's got a great pedigree, too. His dad, Clay, played for both the Angels and the Yankees. So there are a lot of reasons to be excited about the Dodgers, namely Cody Bellinger.
That is so awesome. All right, Patrick, you're a huge Dodger fan.
Absolutely, I am.
And by the way, can you believe that if you've ever seen Cody, and I think
I have.
On my, we just posted it on Twitter and Facebook at Rick Garcia News. You'll see me standing next to Cody. He talked about being a little guy when he played Little League. Now, I'm 6'2". Cody's got to be around 6'4", I think. Me maybe 6'3", but I think he seemed taller than that to me in his cleats when I interviewed him. And he has just been a lot of fun to watch out there on the field this season.
Yeah, he's having he's always been having like really good seasons the last 2 or 3 he's been out, but this season just feels more special. You know what I mean? Like he's, his home runs, I think he's on route to break his record. I think he already broke it. MVP run, it's him and also Christian Yelich from the Milwaukee Brewers. Right. I really think Bellinger's probably going to take home the gold on that one. He's just not to discount Yelich. He's been a pivotal part of that team too, but just the stardom and how good the Dodgers have been on hitting. It's just he's the spark plug. He has been the de facto leader, like energizing the boys to get the wins.
Here's what I would also say to you. This team is built to last. And when you think about the success of franchises like the New England Patriots in the NFL, which it doesn't matter what sport you're in, that's what you aspire to be. The Dodgers are built to last. They have a lot of players who are young, like Cody. They're in their early 20s. Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager at shortstop. Yeah. They brought up a guy who they thought was just going to be a fill-in, Alex Verdugo, who's in his early 20s. Then they bring up their catcher, Will Smith, who's in his early 20s, and they will never be able to send him back down to the minors because he's been out of his mind, and he's going to be catching in L.A. for a good 10 to 15 years. So this team is built to last.
What do you think?
Absolutely.
What do you think? If you're on Facebook, make a comment, or you can call in. Our number is 298-5487, area code 661.
Yeah, we're in the 661, ladies and gentlemen. So speaking of young guys, I also had a chance to grab one of the Dodgers pitchers who's going to be on the hill for years to come. He's going to be their ace if he's not already. And I say that with all due respect to Clayton Kershaw, but his name is Walker Buehler. And when I caught up with him on Tuesday of this week, he was about to go in the batting cage. And I point that out because we don't think of pitchers as being hitters, but they do have to work on their bunting in the National League because they do lay down bunts to move runners across the bases. But for years, the Dodgers have had a tradition in their batting cage where the pitchers always have a competition with each other. They're always making bets, who can hit the most home runs, who's going to be the worst hitter. And so that was just part of what Walker and I talked about.
Years ago, I used to come out here and cover this team. They had some pretty good competitions among pitchers in there. You guys still do stuff?
Yeah, here and there. We'll do a little something and kind of mess with each other.
Yeah, any big money on the line? What's the biggest thing you've won or lost?
I lost some money to Rue last year in a little home run derby. I don't want to specify the amount, but it was a little bit more than pride.
Wait a minute. I thought Kershaw was the big stick on the team.
No, Kershaw's a good hitter. Kershaw has more hits than all of us combined, I think. But Rue probably takes the most impressive BP.
When we were all little leaguers, usually the pitchers were also the best hitters on the team, and then you lose that, I guess, over time. You still have to take it seriously in the National League.
Yeah.
So, do you really ever focus or practice on it?
I think bunting is probably the thing that we actually focus on for game stuff, and try and luck yourself into a hit every once in a while. But no, we hit in the cage and work with the coaches a little bit just to. For fun, but also you want to be adequate.
A year ago at this time, you were as you made your way up to the major league ranks. You were in the bullpen toward the end of the season and the playoffs more. This year, it's all about starting, and then you see some of the young guys coming up and going through what you went through. What's your advice to those guys when they go from being a starter to the bullpen?
I've talked to Dustin a little bit about it, and 2017 when I was in the bullpen, it was. Didn't go too well, and then obviously starting last year and this year has kind of helped, get me back to where I feel like I should be. But, it's just a transition that I don't think anyone can make. I think you have to do it your own way and learn how to do it, and we're hopeful Dustin can do that. Obviously, the other day didn't go how he wanted it, but it's his first time, and I've been there and know what that feels like. So, we're going to continue to support him and hope he gets it going.
And for you, the rest of the way, what's your focus going to be?
Just putting quality starts together. Obviously, my last couple haven't been the cleanest, and the Miami one wasn't very good. So just get back to being who I am and what I like to do.
I love this guy. That's Walker Buehler. He's 25 years old. He has 10 wins this season, which is tied for 12th in the National League. His earned run average is right around 3. He's 9th in ERA, and he has 174 strikeouts. What I like about him is he's a young Clayton Kershaw, and what I mean by that is those are two pitchers who are really leaders on the team. They've got a lot of great hitters and really good players, but none of those guys are overly fiery. The fire comes from Clayton Kershaw and this kid Walker Buehler, who we saw earlier in the season tell a guy on the other team to go sit down after he struck him out.
Awesome.
So those are the kind of guys you want on the mound every 5 days when if you can have them. So lots of stuff to look forward to where these Dodgers are concerned, and their youth. As I said, they are built to last.
Wow.
Free stuff.
All right, time to give away some free stuff. What do you say, April?
I love bagels.
Okay.
Yep.
The first person to call 661-298-5487 or message us on Facebook Live at KHTS Radio with the right answer to my question, you will win a dozen bagels from Western Bagel. Have I told you how much I love bagels?
I love bagels, and that's a lot of bagels.
If you ever go into a Western Bagel, it smells incredible.
You said, what was yours? Onion.
I love onion.
I love garlic.
You love garlic. They have a great onion cheese bagel as well. All right, here's the question. You just heard us talking to Cody Bellinger. Which postseason award is Dodgers outfielder Cody Bellinger in the running for? Cy Young, Most Valuable Player, or Mr. Congeniality? Cody Bellinger is in the running for what postseason award? Cy Young, Most Valuable Player, or Mr. Congeniality? Call us at 661-298-5487 or go to KHTS Radio on Facebook and post us the answer there.
We don't bite.
We don't bite. All right, coming up, you got a problem with cats? I mean, do you have cat allergies?
Nope.
Well,
we have a cat.
Boy, a lot of people I know have them, and scientists may have discovered a new vaccine. Also, Dancing with the Stars has announced its lineup, which includes an animated linebacker and a former Clipper. My radio show with Rick Garcia is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Valencia.
Here we go. Baby, would you be my miracle pill? I could be somebody else.
You see so much when you look at your child. A creative spirit that surprises you every day. Curiosity that develops into exploring unique passions. A little leader growing every day to discover who they are, what they love, and how they can make their mark on the world. At SCVI, we see those same amazing things. Our tuition-free K-12 charter school gives your child boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely, with a customized learning program built around each individual student. As iLead's founding school, SCVI combines an immersive approach to traditional subject learning with extracurricular activities including STEAM, robotics, theater, music, and sports. SCVI has the only international baccalaureate program in Santa Clarita, with a 10-year proven track record of graduates excelling at top universities. And we're in your backyard, just off the 5 freeway in West Santa Clarita Valley in Castaic. For enrollment information or to learn more about our program, including homeschool options, visit iLeadSantaClarita.org. iLead Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
Owning Corporation. Equal Housing Lend. NMLS 1797976. DRE license 02063270. MLO endorsement. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions.
Crazy things are going on in the world right now. Like owning funding 15-year fixed refis at 2.99 rate and APR. Yes, you heard correctly. 2.99 rate and APR with no fees of any kind. Needless to say, people are going to owning.com for this free closer rate and APR like mad. In fact, if you have both a real estate and mortgage license, we may want to hire you. Look, money is so dirt cheap, most folks are taking cash out of their equity to do just about anything, including sticking it into their bank accounts, just to have it there. Wouldn't you be crazy not to go to owning.com and grab 2.99 APR, no closing costs, no BS, no nonsense money while it's out there? Call 855-5-OWNING or go to owning.com to not miss these monthly savings. 855-5-OWNING.
Western Bagel has been serving signature bagels, sandwiches, and hand-roasted coffee since 1947. They're family-owned and operated with 11 locations across SoCal, including Santa Clarita on Bouquet and the Old Kmart Shopping Center. Western Bagel makes their own whipped cream cheese, offering over 10 flavors along with other goodies, pastries, cookies, and muffins. Delicious Western Bagels. Check out their Bagel Brad Deal of the Week, emailed to you every Monday when you register at westernbagel.com.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Your hometown station.
I love my Dodgers on KHTS.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
I know what that means. I know it. I live for this, by the way, April. I live for this.
You're good at it, too. It's Who Am I? Celebrity
Who am I?
birthdays.
Okay.
For today. Okay, here are the clues. Let's get that dinger ready. Okay, here we go.
The buzzer.
The buzzer. Legendary shooting guard who helped the Los Angeles Lakers win 3 straight NBA championships from 2000 to 2002 and 2 more in 2009 and 2010. He was named NBA MVP in 2008 and selected to the All-NBA First Team 11 times from 2002 to 2000.
Kobe Bryant. Okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
You know, it's funny. I thought that was so obvious that I kept thinking of Byron Scott and Derek Fisher and everybody
You're
else.
going back and forth, back and forth. Really cool. I know we're short for time, but
no, we're
really
good.
quick.
We're good for time.
Okay, great.
Hey, but it's called My Radio Show.
Oh
So we
yeah,
can go as
yours.
long as we want.
Okay. He Kobe Bryant. Here's some cool facts. He spent part of his youth playing both soccer and basketball in Italy.
Italy, right.
Then after his family moved back to the United States, that's when he started playing basketball. So he is just a straight-up athlete.
Yeah, he's a military brat, I think is why he was in.
Yes,
Italy,
exactly.
yeah.
Okay, are you ready for the next
Yep,
one?
let's
Here
do
we
it.
go. Rock star and actor known for his 1981 hit. This is such a big dead giveaway. Jesse's Girl. You better get it right now.
Rick Springfield.
Ding, ding, ding,
He
ding,
will be
ding, ding,
performing
ding.
at the Performing Arts Center in September in Santa Clarita.
That's why I was so excited to say happy birthday,
By the way,
Rick.
he doesn't know yet, but we're efforting getting him to make an appearance on the show.
Oh, pull him in,
We'll
man.
see
I
what
had a
happens.
mad crush on that guy. Okay, here we go. Saturday Night Live star who gained notoriety for his impressions of Sean Penn and Christopher Walken. He also starred in the TV series Gary Unmarried and had supporting roles in such films as Jerry Maguire, Go, and Are We There Yet?
You said Saturday Night Live was the first thing you said? Was,
Yeah. Saturday Night Live star.
Well, Travolta was the star, but Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking Saturday Night Fever.
Oh yeah, no, no, he's a
okay.
little younger.
Saturday Night Live.
And he was in Jerry Maguire.
Well, it wasn't Cuba Gooding wasn't on Saturday Night Live.
No.
The Tom Cruise, Cuba Gooding on Jerry Maguire. And,
Get that buzzer ready.
Jamie Foxx.
Oh, good guess. Jay Moore. Happy
Jay
birthday.
Moore, yes.
Happy birthday,
Very
Jay Moore.
funny guy.
No,
Jay
we need
Moore,
a buzzer for Rick.
That's right. We don't have to have a buzzer.
No, we don't. No.
Do we got a winner on our free stuff?
We did. We have a winner. Would you like to announce it?
Yeah, I guess Kurt from Santa Clarita.
Yes,
gets
congratulations.
a dozen bagels from Western Bagel.
All
I
right.
recommend the onion. All right, time for My Headlines.
My Headlines.
My Headlines brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Valencia. A huge weekend series opens up out of Dodger Stadium tonight. The two best teams in Major League Baseball lock horns when the Dodgers host the New York Yankees. Hyunjin Ryu pitches against James Paxton. You can hear that game here on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. The injury to DeMarcus Cousins has forced the Lakers to hold auditions for a center. Dwight Howard, who arguably underachieved during his last time in L.A., and Joakim Noah will have workouts for the Lakers. Center JaVale McGee is also on the roster. The Rams lose a potential starter at linebacker to a pectoral injury. Micah Kaiser underwent surgery, and he's going to be out a long time, according to Sean McVay, the Rams head coach. Rams hosting Denver tomorrow night at the Coliseum. That is a preseason game, starts at 6 p.m. There might be some traffic in and around L.A. because the Chargers are also going to have a preseason game. We'll tell you more about that in a moment, but they're still missing running back Melvin Gordon. Gordon is holding out for a new contract and says that he's waiting by the phone for a call from the team. The Chargers host Seattle and Carson on Saturday at 7 p.m. All right, is local sports your cup of tea? Because if you love the local teams in the Santa Clarita Valley, local high school and college, we have a very special segment on Friday nights called Friday Night Lights. It is hosted by KHTS Sports Director Wyatt Smith, and tonight he's going to tell us a little bit about the Canyon Cowboys.
Friday Night Lights. Hello, and welcome to Friday Night Lights. I'm Wyatt Smith from the KHTS Sports Department, and this week I went out to Canyon High School football practice to catch up with new head coach Joseph Miali about training camp and how his team is prepared for the season. With the team now putting together its final preparations for the start of the regular season, I asked Coach Miali to describe how he's feeling going into week one.
I'm really excited. This is going to be it's a great bunch of kids, and they've worked really hard. So we're looking forward to it. And everyone has hope this time of year, so it's exciting.
Part of Miali's excitement stems from the roster he's inherited, and particularly the leaders on the team.
There's a lot of guys we're really excited about. You always start with the quarterback, and then they, of course, get a lot of love. Aiden Litz has really come in and demonstrated himself to be a leader. Him and Evan Cox, they're both our captains. Evan plays defensive end. My first day, we come in to lift when I got hired in December, and we're lifting during the holiday break, and they were the first two guys here, and they've been the first two guys here every day. And we're still out on the field right now, and they're the kind of guys you go, okay, this is what Canyon football is about, and their enthusiasm and their leadership is contagious. And so you see, we don't have a ton of missed practices. We have guys out here getting better every day, and that's really the key to changing winning culture.
With the Canyon program coming off of a 2-8 season last year, Coach Miali isn't focused on anything other than helping his team improve week in, week out.
We have to get better every week. It's hard to know where you are, coming in year one, and we have a whole new system. It's just we have to see improvement every week, and it's one of those you can't think too far ahead. I can't worry about all the league games and all the big time guys in the league. We have to worry about tomorrow. Can we get better tomorrow? We can execute tomorrow, and then Friday. That's really we focus on Crespi and move from there.
Canyon High School is scheduled to open up the regular season at home against Crespi on Friday night at 7 p.m. in Harry Welch Stadium. Each other team of the Foothill League, with the exception of Golden Valley, starts their season Friday night as well. West Ranch opens up with a home game against Nordhoff High School at 7 p.m. at Valencia High School football field, while Valencia, Hart, and Saugus each open up their season on the road. Valencia travels to face Arcadia High School at 7 p.m., Hart will head for North San Diego to take on Carlsbad High School at 7 p.m. And meanwhile, Saugus starts their season at Granada Hills Charter at 7 p.m. And that's this week's Friday Night Lights. Catch our segment each week on my radio show with Rick Garcia, and for all your Foothill League scores, recaps, and everything Santa Clarita sports. Follow at KHTS Sports on Twitter, like our Facebook page, and go to hometownstation.com.
And let's go out to one of our Facebook friends, Andrew. Andrew, I'm going to call him Andrew O.
Okay.
Andrew didn't mention where he's from. In fact, we'd love it if you guys would tell us where you're from. But Andrew brings up a great point regarding the Dodgers and the Yankees. He said, you mean the best team against the Yankees, not the best two teams. And to which I will respond, I'm assuming you're talking about the Houston Astros, which are fantastic. I just happen to think the Dodgers and the Yankees are the two best teams. In fact, one of our previous guests, Eric Karros, who used to play for the Dodgers, although I think Eric is very objective when it comes to which teams are the best, he doesn't think anybody's going to stop the Dodgers. So, Andrew, you can clarify in your next post if you want who you think the best two teams are, and then we can debate that. But I'd have to say that the Dodgers are every bit as good as both the Yankees and the Astros. But that's why we want you to post us on Facebook at KHTS Radio, because I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, thank you for reaching out.
Thanks, Andrew. Oh, we appreciate that. Time for News to Me.
News to me.
Yes, it is. It is always news to me. If you have cat allergies, there may be some good news for you down the road. They're apparently... The researchers are very close to coming up with a new vaccine.
This is big. This is huge.
Huge. Now, we have a cat. Nobody in our house, fortunately, is allergic to the cat. My oldest daughter number 1, she was allergic to cats when she was younger. But the problem with some cats is they have a protein. It's an allergen, FELD1, I think is what the scientific term is, and it's secreted into their saliva. So, cats lick themselves to clean themselves. Then they basically put this allergen onto their fur. It also comes out of their tears, and it causes people to just, some people cannot be in a house that had a cat a couple of years ago.
Right,
now,
yeah.
This new vaccine, the researchers have found, unlike other vaccines, it's not a shot for you, it's a shot for your cat.
Oh,
So
that makes it even better, right?
It would be for your cat if you had an allergy, or if you just had loved ones that want to visit you, but they can't because the cat is there, so you give the cat a shot.
Is the shot ongoing, or does it just take one?
Well, right now they're
shot?
still researching it, and unfortunately it's not going to be released anytime soon, but they think now they can start trying it out on humans in case you're interested.
Oh, my goodness.
Meaning
no.
that they'll try it out on a cat and then put a human near it.
Well, this is going to help with all the cats that need homes, too. Okay. There's going to be a ton, I bet you a huge influx of adoptions.
Big difference. How about the story of this fan who threw 96 miles per hour in a radar gun booth at a baseball game? So he goes to a baseball game in Colorado to watch the Rockies. They have a little booth there so that fans can go in and throw a baseball. There's a radar gun, and it shoots how fast you're throwing the baseball. Nathan Peterson threw the ball 96 miles an hour.
Amazing.
And as a result, got a baseball contract out of it.
Cool.
He's playing with the Oakland A's, and he's in their rookie league, the rookie level Arizona League. And in his very first appearance, he struck out 3 batters.
Wow.
All 3 batters he faced. He said he used to pitch a little bit in high school at a junior high level, blew out his elbow, and then decided he was just going to work on a landscaping business. And then next thing you know, he's back playing baseball again.
See, never give up.
There's a tight end for the San Francisco 49ers, a guy by the name of George Kittles, who had an incredible – he's a young, up-and-coming star. He had 88 catches for 1,400 yards last year. And one of his pre-game routines is his dad writes him a letter, like a 3 or 4 page letter, and then sends it to the team, and it's there waiting for him in his locker the day of a game. And he sits down at the very beginning of the day and reads his dad's 3 or 4 page letter.
I love that. I bet you it's really therapeutic too for him.
He says it fires him up, it inspires him. He said there's some trash talking, there's some 4-letter words in there, and and that's part of his routine, and he loves it. Are you not entertained?
In a Hollywood Minute.
Are Patrick or April, either one of you guys Matrix fans?
Oh, the Matrix. I am the one.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah, me too.
Mediocre.
It didn't blow me away. Listen, I love the movies he's doing right now, but this is going to be an announcement for Matrix 4. Apparently, that's coming up. He was part of the original franchise with Carrie Ann Moss. She's going to also be included in number 4.
Oh, cool.
Lawrence Fishburne, no word on
Interesting.
him. I don't know if Fishburne, did he die in one of those previous movies? Because he hasn't been mentioned yet.
I don't know, but he needs to be in it if he comes back, from the dead or something.
Well,
I'm sure.
And that, you can do that in movies, but so Matrix 4 is going to be coming out. Keanu Reeves, and boy, they call it a Keanu-sance. He's really having a comeback. What are the movies he's in right now that I love so much? The action movies.
John Wick.
John Wick.
Oh, I haven't
Wonderful.
seen that yet.
I mean, he doesn't do much. He grunts a lot. He fights a lot, but that's why he's so good, I think.
I love him as a human, just like as a
human?
person.
Okay.
Yeah, he does amazing things. He's always out
a very
there
good
helping
guy.
the community.
You guys watch Dancing with the Stars?
My parents
Time in,
do.
time out, yeah.
So they've announced their new lineup for the next show. Hall of Fame middle linebacker Ray Lewis, who comes out and used to come out and do a dance before every game.
Yes.
He's going to be there. Lamar Odom of the Clippers.
I can't wait to see this.
The
I
infamous Lamar Odom, who
All right,
will
I'm
also
watching
be part
now.
of that lineup. Ray Lewis used to come out, and when they play, It's Getting Hot in Here by Nelly, he'd do a little dance before the games. His daughter said to him, Dad, whatever you do, don't embarrass me.
Yeah, and that's what he's probably. I just love seeing these tall guys, but they have rhythm.
They can move.
They can
They
pull
can
it
move.
off. Yeah.
Supermodel Christy Brinkley and actor James Vanderbeek, as well as White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer, will also be there.
Interesting.
How about that? Maybe next hour we can talk about what's going to be out in theaters now, because I'm excited about both of these. Angel Has Fallen is out in theaters now for you to watch this weekend. Gerard Butler, Morgan Freeman. I'll bet you never guess who Morgan Freeman plays in this movie.
Oh, I don't know.
What's he play most of the time? Is a character very often? All
Morgan
right, forget
Freeman.
you guys. President. And Jada Pinkett Smith. I love it. It's part of the Olympus and London Has Fallen franchise. Oh, and here's one I'm dying to see. Ready or Not.
Oh.
It's a horror suspense movie that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's one of those where guy takes his new wife home to meet his family, and they decide to play family game night. Yeah. All right. Coming up next hour, what has basketball legend Larry Bird so upset? And ready for some football? Not the NFL, the other professional league. My radio show with Rick Garcia is brought to you by Western Bagel.
Music is at hand. We wanna play it for you.
Healthcare can be difficult if you're underinsured or have Medi-Cal. Samuel Dixon Family Health Center can help. Services are available on a sliding fee schedule. The mission of the Samuel Dixon Family Health Center is to give the Santa Clarita Valley access to affordable, quality primary care. There are 3 locations to serve you: Canyon Country, Newhall, and Valverde. Go to sdfhc.org for more information and to find the location most convenient for you.
If you'd like to take your business up a notch, take a look at Elite Magazine.
Linda and Mo Hafizi, owners of our Valley's 2 leading magazines, the Magazine of Santa Clarita and Elite.
I'm so proud of Elite. It allows your advertisement to stand out. We distribute Elite to 50,000 homes and businesses. You'll find us in 1,900 local hotel rooms.
Discover how Elite Magazine can help your business. Call 294-4444.
Superior quality is second nature to us. Just ask our advertisers.
What's the perfect way to end the weekend? Sunday brunch at Salt Creek Grill, of course. Wind down with delectable dishes off Salt Creek's award-winning menu and enjoy a glass of champagne, because after all, you deserve it. Make Sunday brunch at Salt Creek Grill a new tradition with your family and friends. Salt Creek Grill in Valencia on Town Center Drive in front of the movie theater. For reservations, 222-9999 or go online to saltcreekgrill.com.
We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCV may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call The Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayoutrrecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today.
KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 2 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
Wall Street stocks dive. Presidential Twitter flurry. I'm Evan Haining.
I ask not for whom the closing bell tolled. It tolled for big losses. The Dow closed at 25,628, a 623-point drop. The S&P lost 76 points, and a 239-point slide took the Nasdaq down 3%. Ahead of this weekend's G7 summit, China hit the U.S. with new tariffs, a retaliation for new Trump administration tariffs. Correspondent Bob Costantini reports President Trump went on Twitter to joke about the losses and poke fun at the latest Democrat to drop out of the presidential contest.
Not leaving for France until late Friday night, the president's myriad of tweets included this one about a Democrat who's given up on the contest to replace him. The Dow is down 573 points, perhaps on the news that Representative Seth Moulton, whoever that may be, has dropped out of the 2020 presidential race.
Trump also ordered American companies to find alternatives to doing business with China, a directive the U.S. Chamber of Commerce flatly rejected. And correspondent Abby Phillip reports Trump also took a swipe at the man he chose to head the Federal Reserve.
President Trump continues to attack the Fed chairman, Jay Powell, implying in a tweet this morning that he's not sure who is our enemy, whether it is Jay Powell or Xi Jinping of China.
In Brooklyn, 2 women pleaded guilty to terrorism in federal court.
Asiya Siddiqui and Noel Valensas pleaded guilty to a long list of terrorism charges. They included teaching how to make and use an explosive device, a weapon of mass destruction, and intending that it be used to commit a federal crime of violence. They could be sentenced to up to 20 years in prison. Steve Kastenbaum, New York.
It was announced that Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg underwent radiation treatment for pancreatic cancer and that no further treatment is needed at this time. I'm Evan Haining.
My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish. Now I feel great. No, amazing. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days. It's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now, I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge? For a coupon and daily support, sign up at metamucil.com today.
You know Labor Day signals the unofficial end of summer, but not the end of your outdoor projects. Lowe's helps you do it right and helps you save with Labor Day deals throughout the store. Shop now and get 2 bags of Stay Green potting mix for $12. And keep your lawn looking neat and trim with a Craftsman 2-cycle 17-inch gas string trimmer, now $20 off at just $119. Whatever's still on your to-do list this Labor Day, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 8/28. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. U.S. only.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit pattersonscollisioncenter.com. or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
Western Bagel has been serving signature bagels, sandwiches, and hand-roasted coffee since 1947. They're family-owned and operated with 11 locations across SoCal, including Santa Clarita on Bouquet and the Old Kmart Shopping Center. Western Bagel makes their own whipped cream cheese, offering over 10 flavors along with other goodies, pastries, cookies, and muffins. Delicious Western Bagels. Check out their Bagel Brad Deal of the Week, emailed to you every Monday when you register at westernbagel.com.
This is a Rita's Daybreak. There's a huge crowd at Rita's. With so many amazing flavors, every day's a treat. Let's see what folks are celebrating.
I lost my first tooth.
No more training wheels.
My dog photo got 37 likes.
3 kids, 3 activities, 0 meltdowns. There you have it. Layer it, blend it, or drink it with Italian ice and creamy custard. So many reasons to celebrate at Rita's. This has been a Rita's Daybreak.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Beautiful day today, sunny skies. Highs in the mid-80s, overnight lows in the low 60s. Then pretty much the rest of the weekend, highs in the low 90s, going in toward next week with lows in the 60s. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
My Radio Show with Rick Garcia is coming to you live from your hometown station, KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM in Old Town Newhall, California. Now, My Radio Show with Rick Garcia.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to My Radio Show. I'm Rick Garcia, and we are so excited about the weekend being here. I hope you are too, right?
Oh, my goodness. It's Friday. It's so fun to be here on Friday, huh?
Yeah.
You can feel the energy.
April Duran and Patra Suika here on this Friday. Hi, Patrick.
Hey, how you doing, Rick?
When you say you could feel the energy, you know what? I can't feel the air conditioning. Did you not turn it on, Patrick?
I have magical powers to turn the AC on.
Can you do that now? We could have done that an hour ago, you know.
Patrick, how do you say your last name?
Suika.
Suika, but how do you really say
yes.
it?
Well, if we're going back in the old school of Poland, it'd be Svietza.
There it is.
Patrick Svietza. Well, again, I'd like to welcome you to My Radio Show with Rick Garcia. You are listening to us on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. Also, hi, Facebook friends. You're watching us on KHTS Radio. And if you'd like to see the show after the fact, or you know somebody who you might want to share the show with, they can do that on YouTube as well as My Radio Show podcast. And I tell everybody the best way to listen to the show is the KHTS Radio app.
Yes.
Why am I so excited about an app? I never...
Because apps are the thing, and you could be in India, you could be at the beach, and you could just jump right on it and
they
tune
should
in.
be listening to us in India.
Yes.
But you can also find us at hometownstation.com. If you want to participate in the show, we highly encourage you to do that by doing it the old-fashioned way and calling 661-298-5487, 661-298-5487. On the other hand, again, you can post us on Facebook Live, and we'd love to hear from you. We'd like to get your opinion, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I have to tell you, Rick is not. He's really nice. Okay. He's a nice guy, and he knows a lot of information. So challenge him.
Yeah. So anything sports, pop culture, entertainment, we would love to hear from you, and we'll do that throughout the show today. All right, time for My Headlines.
My Headlines.
My Headlines brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Valencia. A huge weekend series opens up out at Dodger Stadium tonight. The two best teams in Major League Baseball go at it. The Dodgers host the New York Yankees. Hyun-Jin Ryu pitches against James Paxton. And you can hear that game here on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. The injury to DeMarcus Cousins has forced the Lakers to hold auditions for a center. Dwight Howard, who arguably underachieved in his last time with the Lakers, and Joakim Noah will have workouts for the Lakers if they haven't already. Center JaVale McGee is also on the roster. The Rams lose a potential starter at linebacker to a pectoral injury. Micah Kiser underwent surgery and will be out a long time, according to Rams head coach Sean McVay. The Rams host the Denver Broncos in a preseason game Saturday night at 6 p.m. at the Coliseum. And the Chargers still without running back Melvin Gordon. Gordon said to be holding out for, he is holding out for a new contract, and he said to be waiting by the phone for a call from the team. The Chargers host Seattle in Carson on Saturday night at 7 p.m. So you got a game in Carson, and you have a game at the L.A. Coliseum, so you might want to plan for that if you're out and about in Southern California tomorrow night. All right, let's dive into some of these stories. The Lakers, I guess, in a little bit of a jam in that they lost a guy that I thought really was one of their better under-the-radar moves when they signed DeMarcus Cousins. He's a center who is an all-star center, injury-prone, but when he plays, he can bring you some good numbers from a scoring and a rebounding and block shots category. So he blew out his knee. I think he was working out in Las Vegas recently. That has forced the Lakers now to have to look and see who's available out there. So one of the guys they're talking about is a guy who they had such high hopes for when he played for them a few years ago, Dwight Howard. Now, he's a member of the Memphis Grizzlies, but the team has given him permission to explore opportunities elsewhere. So what does that say about a guy if the team that has him is like, all right, we'll let you go somewhere else, because he's bounced around to a lot of teams. He just has not met his potential.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just he hasn't met his potential, but it's at the same time, he's getting a little bit older, and he's been a little bit injury prone the last couple seasons as well. However, I think Dwight Howard going to the Lakers would actually be kind of a good idea. And I know a lot of Laker fans, like I'm friends with a lot of Laker fans. I'm a Laker fan. Everyone's like, Dwight Howard, no, not after last time. But all we need him to be is a rebounder and a guy that can block shots. We don't need him to be scoring.
Exactly. So I agree with you. I think last time he was here, I think they were hoping that between he and Kobe, that would lead them to the championship. Now he's like the fourth most important guy on the team, maybe further down than that, fourth or fifth person on the team. So with LeBron there and Anthony Davis, he doesn't have to be the star. He just has to be a role player. It might work.
Yeah, I think that's as a good potential to really work.
Here's a story, I guess a little unsettling. I mean, it is for me because this guy comes from my era of basketball as a young guy. Mm-hmm. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. Larry Bird apparently not real happy. An artist went out. You have a lot of these urban artists now that kind of sneak out and plant some art, create some art in the middle of a city somewhere. And
really cool stuff, like in little pockets.
Sometimes it's very cool. Sometimes,
like in L.A.
Art is in the eye of the beholder, right? Beauty in the eye of the beholder. This mural was put up on a building near downtown Indianapolis this week as a tribute to the great Larry Bird. He was Mr. Indiana for so long, and even though he was a Boston Celtics guy. And so Bird saw the mural, which it shows Bird in a basketball top, so it's like a tank top basketball jersey in essence. Okay. And instead of being the Larry Bird that we remember, he's tatted from shoulder down to hand.
Okay.
I wouldn't say completely like sleeves necessarily, but he is quite tatted up. I'll show that to April. You can see it. So Larry is really unhappy about this mural.
Wait, what?
Okay, I could see why. I wish we could show the picture.
We can to Facebook. I don't know if Patrick, after you look at it,
but
you can hold it up to the camera for the Facebook folks.
Sleeves, there's certain tattoos, and I'm not a professional, but there's like the art, that kind of, what the artist kind of portrayed here, my first look here, it would be a little bit more, how can you say it? It's not so artistic. It's more just kind of like little blotches here and there. Yeah.
So here's my thing, and I'm going to be straight with you. This is my era. This guy, I get it. We were not tattoo people.
Right.
You had a different opinion of people who had tattoos in those days.
My dad's old school. Yeah.
Now everybody's got tattoos, and if you don't wear a tattoo, there's something. People are like, "Hey, what's wrong with you?" So I get where he's coming from in that we looked differently at people who had tattoos. This is just a piece of art, and I think it's making the point that if he was a player today, that's what he would look like, probably.
Yeah, and I totally get it. Yeah. When you first kind of mentioned the story, I was just like, "Oh, come on, give it." But I could see because my dad is old school, and so he still has this frame of mind. And I'm going to say this, but he'll just when he sees somebody with a tattoo, he'll say like something that's not too positive,
right?
And
I get that.
So I understand.
I went through this battle with daughter number one because that was when that was the cutting edge of when everybody's starting to get them, and it was. It wasn't a good battle. It was not good at all. And now it's like you can't see anybody of her generation that's not wearing a tattoo. So I totally
Grandmas
get that.
have tattoos.
And the fact that it's just a piece of art, I think if anything, if he would have embraced it and said, "Hey, that's kind of cool," maybe I would have picked a different tattoo if I was playing today. Instead, he sounds like a grumpy old man. Get off my lawn, kids.
And after I got to see the picture of his mural right now too. I get, and now I kind of understand a little bit more why he's a little bit more outraged.
Me too.
I like the tattoos. I think he's a little maybe overzealous on his face because there's facial. He has it shows like some facial tattoos.
Well, but again,
it's almost like a cartoon.
It's almost kind of cartoony.
But the point is, it's not real. It's
it's a mural though.
Larry,
so I can respect that.
Yeah, it's more like. Too bad he couldn't look at it, or maybe he will as paying tribute. Like, oh, this guy's awesome. Here you go.
And again, if he were playing today, and he may not have those exact tattoos, he'd probably be wearing a tattoo.
Right.
I mean, look at all the guys in the NBA. It's incredible. There is a new supervillain in the NFL.
Uh-oh. Dun, 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 dun.
I haven't liked this guy since the first time I saw him. Now, I don't mean that personally. I just mean the outward personality that he's sharing with all of his fans. Baker Mayfield is the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. He's a very confident guy.
Yes.
Had a very good college career. He tends to, how would I put it? he speaks his mind, but I think he overspeaks his mind. I have no problem with people that want to speak up about things. He ripped his own coach when his old coach got fired, was very disrespectful.
Yes.
When it's like, okay, look, if you had a bad experience with your old coach, unless he was awful to you, and the last I remember, Baker Mayfield was playing for that coach. In other words, it wasn't like he made him sit on the bench. He holds these grudges. So a quarterback was drafted in this last draft by the New York Giants, and his name's Daniel Jones, and it was kind of a surprise pick. I think by a lot of analysts who thought, maybe he got drafted a little too high. The New York Giants love Daniel Jones. And Baker Mayfield's comments at that time were, he said, first of all, I cannot believe the Giants selected Jones with the 6th overall pick in the 2019 draft. Mayfield, I think, was number 1 the year before, if I'm not mistaken.
He was, yes.
And he also said, it blows my mind. Some people overthink it. That's where people go wrong. They forget you've got to win. Now, you can if somebody asks you, how you think the approach should go when it comes to drafting quarterbacks, you can say, hey, numbers are flashy or he looks flashy, but at the end of the day, you got to win. You don't have to call guys out.
Well, actually, you know what? I have to
guys.
say that, again, I think a lot players are stepping up and they're starting to voice their opinions, which I kind of like a little bit, even though it's not too positive or whatever, but they're kind of being real. They're actually voicing their opinions.
There's a sports talk radio show across the street or another part of the city, and they hire somebody new. Would you go on the air and say, man, she is awful? Why would they hire her? You could say it to your friends.
Yes, I would. No, just kidding. No, I would not.
He could say it to his friends, right? But he announces publicly what a bunch of idiots those guys are for drafting that knucklehead.
Now, you put it that way, so no, I think that's not right.
I think he's going to get beaten up before the year's over. I really mean it. I think somebody's going to punch the kid.
I'm sure he's going
to
take a few hits, during the game a little bit.
A few extra hits when he gets tackled out of bounds, for example.
Right.
So I'm thinking we have a new supervillain, and every so often somebody comes along in sports where you just got to root against them. Now in Cleveland he's going to be a hero.
Yes.
But everywhere else you're going to see linebackers and you're going to see defensive linemen, especially when they play the Giants. A little extra hit going on.
What do you think? If you're tuning in, if you're listening, tell us what you think. We would love to hear you.
Yeah, you can post us or message us. Am I saying that right? On Facebook?
Yeah,
you post, you message. Ask us a question if you'd like, and we'll share that on the air. You can do that at KHTS Radio, and that's on Facebook Live. You ready for the new football league out there, you guys? They have 8 teams. They've announced the names of the new teams in the new league. First of all, the new league is called the XFL.
Okay.
It was created by the World Wrestling Entertainment. It used to be WWE, used to be WWF. And these are the new teams that will be in this league. And by the way, it's going to be hardcore regular football.
So this is real.
They're going to make
legitimately real.
They're going to do some goofing around with some of the rules to try to make things a little bit different.
And this is an indoor. This is.
It is not. They could do some domed stadiums, but it's regular pro football rules similar to the NFL.
Interesting.
The Dallas Renegades, the Houston Roughnecks.
Okay.
So you got 2 Texas teams. Yeah. LA's going to have a team apparently. Now,
here's our name?
Here's one that's getting ripped a lot. Los Angeles Wildcats.
Yeah, come on.
What?
Come on.
That sounds like a high school team.
Do we have a lot of Wildcats in Los Angeles?
Maybe. I don't know.
No, we don't have
You
any.
hear a couple on the news once in a while.
Los Angeles Cougars, maybe, but what?
Yeah, you hear
Hollywood,
on the news like
Hollywood,
a Wildcat. Yeah,
Cougars,
coming down the hills or whatever.
No. I'm just saying, Wildcats is the best LA could come up with.
Who created that, I wonder?
I don't know, but I could see that maybe in Arizona or even Texas. Look at Texas comes with Renegades and Roughnecks.
Rick, I'm curious. What name would you pick?
Los Angeles Tofu, maybe. Would that be? All right. New York Guardians. The New York Guardians. Okay.
All right.
St. Louis Battlehawks. St. Louis Battlehawks.
Interesting.
The Seattle Dragons.
Hey.
Okay.
Tampa Bay Vipers. And the Washington Defenders.
Wow, in L.A., Wildcats.
Wildcats.
Are Wildcats indigenous to the city of Los Angeles? Do you see them coming out of the skyscrapers at night to look for food?
I don't get it.
So they're right now recruiting players. They're trying to get as many players. They're still trying to secure facilities to play in and probably find smaller facilities, like maybe use some of the MLS, some of the soccer facilities. They say they're going to try to reimagine some of the football rules, including changing the way extra points are worked, are played rather, and maybe some different kinds of overtime rules or a shorter play clock, so you have to hurry up and play. So we will see what happens. Do you have to let the dog out? Is that why the alarm's going off?
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Who let the dog out? We should play that song.
So XFL, you ready for some football?
Yeah. Ready to rumble.
Well, I have a question. Okay, so what is that league with the women? Because that was my initial question.
That was the one where they did that at like halftime of the Super Bowl, so people might tune in, and then they tried to actually turn it into a league. I don't remember the name.
They're still playing because I saw a billboard with. They're playing indoor.
Yeah.
And it's a women, but so
Did
I
you
wondered.
like it? Did you ever watch it?
I never watched it. I was not interested. I'm sure some people were, but I'm curious to see how this is going to pan out. The XFL.
We'll see. People have been talking for a long time that the NFL needs really a minor league system. And who knows, that may turn out to be it.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Coming up, Major League Baseball alerting its players to stay away from something often found in convenience stores. Plus, we are giving away some more free stuff. My Radio Show with Rick Garcia, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Valencia.
Takes me back to a better time when I saw everything is good, but now you're the only thing that's good.
Hi, I'm Miles McNamara, Certified Senior Advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers and Home Care. Our caregivers help you in your own home. A Comfort Keeper can provide companionship, meal preparation, medication monitoring, assistance with personal care, transportation to doctor appointments, all enhancing your independence and safety in the comfort and privacy of your own home. So if you or someone you love could use a helping hand at home, call Comfort Keepers at 287-4200. That's 287-4200.
The minute I open my door,
Debbie Morris has a problem.
I say, oh my gosh.
A really big problem.
The dog, the cat, my 3-year-old.
Debbie's house is a mess.
How can one family create this disaster?
Debbie needs Made for You.
I need help.
Professional, residential, and commercial cleaning, locally owned. You choose the schedule, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or even one-time seasonal cleaning. Call 255-2922. That's 255-2922. Made for You.
Made for You rescued me.
Hi, this is Dr. Pilecki. Until recently, looking younger meant injecting botulism or even worse into your face, or you could risk costly surgery. But now, focused ultrasound can increase your own natural collagen production. Stress damages collagen, making skin sag and wrinkle, and over time can make faces and necks look older. Now, our amazing Titan Lift procedure turns back the clock with a non-surgical facelift option. Call me now to schedule a free introduction offer, 753-9340.
Marston's Restaurant has been a Pasadena landmark, voted the best breakfast in California by the Food Network magazine. Discover Marston's Santa Clarita location, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Marston's also has a fantastic catering menu that adds a delicious twist to any event. And they cater picnic dinners for that memorable romantic date. Experience Marston's on Newhall Ranch Road and McBean, or log on to marstonsrestaurant.com.
The AV Fair is here, and the Raleigh Kia Arena events are back. This year's Traxxas Monster Truck Tour is on Friday, August 23rd. Tickets start at just $15 and includes fair admission. There are no free grandstand seats to these events. A ticket is required. Buy your tickets at avfair.com today. Monster Truck Thunder. The Traxxas Monster Truck Tour at the AV Fair, August 23rd at 7:30 p.m. For info and tickets, go to avfair.com. The Antelope Valley Fair is presented by IBEW and NECA.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Hometown.
All day long, constantly.
Your hometown station. 98.1 FM and AM 1220. Hometown.
Santa Clarita News.
Your community connection.
Heroin overdose, bicycle safety, and watermelons. Hey, this is Jade Abisham with the KHTS News Team, and here's what's going on in Santa Clarita. A Santa Clarita mother of 5 was resuscitated after an opioid overdose yesterday. On Thursday, August 23rd, a 36-year-old Santa Clarita mother of 5 overdosed on heroin, but was thankfully resuscitated thanks to Narcan. 5 young children between the ages of 4 months to 10 years were taken by deputies and put into protective custody. The Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station plans to expand the outreach of their J-Team in order to help those fighting addiction get into rehabilitation programs. Sheriff's officials state that it is our hope that this mother will get the assistance she needs so she can be there for her children in the future. Sheriff's deputies issued 74 citations to distracted drivers during their pedestrians and bicycle safety operation yesterday. Over half the citations were issued for cell phone use while driving. The deputies remind drivers and passengers to be extra cautious while approaching intersections. The Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station conducts these operations in efforts to lower the amount of fatal bike and pedestrian crashes throughout the city. As the number of vehicle versus pedestrian crashes have been dropping over the last 3 years, their efforts do appear to be paying off. Santa Clarita Valley Grocery provided 40 watermelons for the College of the Canyons football team on their final day of preseason training yesterday. Players were surprised with the quartered watermelons at the end of a strenuous workout and exhausting final week of training. Teaming up with the Heart of Canyons Church, SCV Grocery worked together to congratulate the team on their summer training. When SCV Grocery has excess food, it is donated to other local outreach programs, including the Salvation Army and the Petting Zoo in William S. Hart Park. For more on these stories and everything else happening at Santa Clarita Valley, make sure you head on over to hometownstation.com.
It is a beautiful day today in Santa Clarita, 82 degrees. Nice and refreshing, not so hot like the blistering weather we had all this last week. But hold on to your hats. Like I said earlier, it is going to go into the mid-90s this weekend and all for next week. Currently, right here in Santa Clarita, 82 degrees, and that's our hometown station weather.
On the way I was crowned a king, felt the wind underneath my wing. I've been high.
You ladies like watermelon? Are you guys watermelon fans?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I've never been a big. I like cherries and a few other fruits, but my wife loves watermelon, but has a real difficult time trying to pick a good watermelon. We finally got a really good tip. We got a good tip. Used to be they'd say, "Oh, you slap it." And
right.
It depends on the sound.
And I used to do that just like
they all sound the same.
Yeah, I used to do it at the grocery store to just look like I knew what I was doing.
Playing the bongos on
yeah.
So I finally went to this guy at Ralph's, and I said, "Hey, how do I pick a good watermelon?" And so he showed my wife and I that if you see these scars in it where it's almost cut into the skin, he said that means they're extra, extra sweet.
Oh.
And those are the flies, the fruit flies and the bugs trying to get to that watermelon. So, he's looking around.
That's very interesting.
So he handed us the one that was scarred, and we took it home. I was like, oh, my gosh.
So it was real.
So now all of a sudden I'm a converted watermelon.
Oh, so now you're scooping out the watermelons.
It's so good because, especially when it's a hot summer evening and you're just, anyway.
You could soak watermelon into some beverages.
You can. It brings the flavor out.
Really? Like what kind of beverages are you talking about?
You could soak it in a little
it works
alcoholic beverages.
I was going to say it works in lemon lime soda. But
oh, there you go. Yeah.
Or ginger ale.
That's a good idea.
We're adults here, right?
Are we?
Yeah.
Welcome back to my radio show. I'm Rick Garcia. We want to invite you to be part of the show. In fact, we were talking to folks on Facebook Live, right?
Yes,
April,
KHTS Radio. You can find us on Facebook Live.
We had a movie suggestion, didn't we, from somebody on Facebook Live?
Yes, we did. Let's see. I'll find it right now. Here we go.
Go ahead. You can't read it. Go ahead.
Yeah, Lori, I love Jared Butler. Yes, go see.
Butler,
or Gerard Butler. Yes, go see Angel Has Fallen. I have not heard about this movie, so I'm glad
we mentioned it. A buddy of mine did the voiceover work on their trailers, and he's real excited about it. This is part of the Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen series. Gerard Butler is the star in it, and Angel Has Fallen is the third installment of that, and it's in theaters tonight, which we're going to talk about more in entertainment. So that's a good tip. And if you would like to also make a comment or talk to us or ask us a question, how do we do that, April?
Just jump on KHTS Radio on Facebook and post a comment, a question. We love the interaction. Please do so.
What if you're driving around, though?
You could give us a call, only if you have, what is it? Bluetooth. Yes. Or pull over. 661-298-5487. We would love to hear from you, even if it's, just a comment or a question. Rick has a lot of knowledge.
Let's debate sports. Come on, bring it on. Let's
Rick's
talk
good
about
at that.
This, right? All right, time for Rick's Replay.
Rick's Replay.
You cannot miss a moment of Dodger baseball these days because you never know what's going to happen. The Dodgers were hosting the Toronto Blue Jays last night. They only managed one hit through the first 8 innings. Then, as they've done so much of the season, they turned it on in dramatic fashion. Down 2-0 in the ninth, a 2-run double by Corey Seager tied the game. Then, on Kike Hernandez bobble night, Kike blooped a single, scoring Seager. The Dodgers beat Toronto 3-2. It's the 12th walk-off win that they've had this season. And tonight, they begin a battle of the Titans as they host the New York Yankees. How about some boos? Boo. Come on, the Yankees. Nobody likes the Yankees out here on the way.
He even presses a button.
Unimpressive. This is going to be at Dodger Stadium tonight. You can hear that game here on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. First pitch at 7:10.
I don't like the Yankees, and I don't know much about baseball. Why is it that everybody dislikes the Yankees? I know I'm just like tired of hearing about them, and I know I hear my dad say they have a lot of money so they could buy the best players. Is that correct?
That's part of the reason.
Okay.
They used to have an owner, George Steinbrenner. I think his son, one of his sons, still involved in the ownership, but he would just open up the checkbook and sign all kinds of players. And I think when a team is successful for a long period of time, they become great in the eyes. They become great in the eyes of the people that like them. But then the haters come out. Mm-hmm. Same with like the Patriots. I mean, if you're not a Patriots fan, then people don't like you because you win all the time. Yeah. You want to see Brady lose. You want to see. Now, I have the ultimate respect for Brady, and it was hard for me to come out and finally say the greatest quarterback of all time. He has surpassed Joe Montana, but you want to see him lose.
Yes.
You root against him.
Yes.
Yeah, with the Yankees, I think the reason why, like, if we're actually going to why we hate the Yankees, it's more so like it's West Coast versus East Coast because we're LA Dodger fans.
Right. And there's a lot.
They're on the East side. Also, it's LA, New York. I mean, that's those two cities are always like combating each other.
Okay, so you make a good point. Now, when I used to travel with the Dodgers and I'd cover other sports, and I'd been in a lot of different stadiums throughout the country. LA's not liked almost everywhere.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where you go.
And
for example,
we're made fun of, too.
all the time.
Yeah.
So we go up north to San Francisco. It was dangerous. There were times where they used to throw batteries on the field when the Dodgers were in the field.
That's
and
scary.
I would try to go out and do an interview with somebody on the field, and fans would go nuts in a bad way, when they'd see a Dodger walk out of the dugout to do an interview. I was
scary.
in Buffalo traveling when the Raiders were in Los Angeles to cover a series there, and the crowd would just I wasn't interviewing anybody, but the LA media would step out on the field to do like what we call stand-ups or live reports back to Los Angeles, and the fans would just go nuts.
That's crazy. So I'm sure you got a little nervous.
I got
a lot
scared
of times.
Probably 2 or 3 baseball parks or football stadiums where I actually thought, I'm not sure about this.
Right. That's really scary.
And so there's a dislike for LA specifically, and a lot of teams have the beat LA chant. We don't chant beat New York. We don't chant beat San Francisco. Because we're proud of who we are. We don't have to brag about it. So, but you go to a lot of different places, and for some reason they're soft on. They're not that big fans of LA.
I've never heard of that, but you know what? I was in Italy at one point, and
they hate us in Italy too.
Yes,
what?
Well, they make fun of. I don't know hate, but they make fun of us because when I said I'm from California, they said, "Oh, Hotel California." Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! That's all you say, and I was just like, "Wow!"
They don't like us because of the Eagles. Come on!
Hotel
song.
California.
I was at Dodger Stadium earlier this week. I went out with the KHTS sports team. We grabbed some interviews with some Dodger players there. Had a lot of fun talking to the guys about, of course, the way they're playing right now and how well they're doing. But also, I had a little fun talking about Little League World Series because that's going on right now.
I saw that.
And the guys enjoy talking about that. And believe it or not, I would say to these guys. In fact, right now we're going to hear from Cody Bellinger that Cody, a lot of baseball kids, they look at you and think, oh my gosh, this guy appeared out of nowhere like Superman, forgetting that he was a little guy that also played some Little League baseball. So that's part of the conversation I had with Cody Bellinger.
You know, I was thinking as I'm looking at the standings, I'm trying to figure out what to say to you guys when I come out here today. 18 and a half games up, 19-20. Different than the last 2 seasons where you were, fighting for playoff position. How's the focus different?
I think it's the same focus. I don't know. I think once the game starts, you're playing the same game that you've been playing. So no different preparation this year around than other years.
I was thinking about you guys, too, with the Little League season in full swing, the playoffs. I think people think you guys just show up out of nowhere and you're these superstars. You remember your Little League days?
Yeah, for sure. I like watching the Little League World Series. It always brings back good memories. So
What's your advice to those young people that are out there, busting it right now, praying and hoping every night that they're going to be the next Cody Bellinger?
I would just say keep going. No matter your height or your weight. I was tiny in the Little League World Series. I was, pretty small in high school. Didn't grow till later on. So just say keep playing and keep having fun with it.
Don't give up. And Cody Bellinger this season compared to last season, what's different?
For me or for the team?
For you.
Just more confident in what I'm doing, and two great hitting coaches that helped me along the way. So just been a combination of things.
Robert grew up down the street from where the studio is from. What do you think of him?
He's been great. There's not one way to hit, so he doesn't preach one way to hit. He, works through everyone and what makes them good, and just tries to work every day. It's hard being a hitting coach, so him and Brandon do a great job.
That's Cody Bellinger, who may well be on his way to being the most valuable player in the National League this season. Off to a great season. It's fun to hear him talk about the little guys too. And the Dodgers are not too far away from their Little League experiences. This is a very young team. I also had a chance to talk to their, I think the guy that's going to be their ace for many years to come, Walker Buehler, about where the team stands. And we start off by talking about the competition that pitchers have when they get in the batting cage before every game. And they have a lot of fun, but it gets real serious.
Years ago, I used to come out here and cover this team. They had some pretty good competitions among pitchers in there. You guys still do stuff?
Yeah, here and there. We'll do a little something and kind of mess with each other.
Yeah. Any big money on the line? What's the biggest thing you've won or lost?
I lost some money to Rue last year in a little home run derby. I don't want to specify the amount, but it was a little bit more than pride.
Wait a minute. I thought Kershaw was the big stick on the team.
No, Kershaw's a good hitter. Kershaw has more hits than all of us combined, I think. But Rue probably takes the most impressive BP.
When we were all little leaguers, usually the pitchers were also the best hitters on the team, and then you lose that, I guess, over time.
Yeah.
I still have to take it seriously in the National League.
Yeah.
So, do you really ever focus or practice on it?
I think bunting is probably the thing that we actually focus on for game stuff, and try and luck yourself into a hit every here and every once in a while. But no, we hit in the cage and work with the coaches a little bit just to. For fun, but also you want to be adequate.
A year ago at this time, you were, as you made your way up to the major league ranks, you were in the bullpen toward the end of the season and the playoffs more. This year, it's all about starting, and then you see some of the young guys coming up and going through what you went through. What's your advice to those guys when they go from being a starter to the bullpen?
I've talked to Dustin a little bit about it, and 2017 when I was in the bullpen, it was. Didn't go too well, and then obviously starting last year and this year has kind of helped, get me back to where I feel like I should be. But, it's just a transition that I don't think anyone can make. I think you have to do it your own way and learn how to do it, and we're hopeful Dustin can do that. Obviously, the other day didn't go how he wanted it, but it's his first time, and I've been there and know what that feels like. So, we're going to continue to support him and hope he gets it going.
And for you, the rest of the way, what's your focus going to be?
Just putting quality starts together. Obviously, my last couple haven't been the cleanest, and the Miami one wasn't very good. So just get back to being who I am and what I like to do.
And I like who he is and what he likes to do. That's Walker Buehler, pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and we heard from Cody Bellinger as well. And my thanks to the Dodgers, who were wonderful, allowing our crew to come out and spend some time with the guys. And we're a Dodger station too, so we're proud to carry those games here on our station. How about some free stuff?
Free stuff.
Let's give it away.
Yes.
The first person to call 661-298-5487 or message us on Facebook Live at KHTS Radio with a right answer to my question will win a $25 gift card from Hanu Coffee. That's a lot of coffee.
Yes.
Dodgers, we just spoke to Dodger pitcher Walker Buehler, right? Well, Walker Buehler often gets mentioned with a movie character of the same last name. Name that movie character's first name. Walker Buehler often gets mentioned with a movie character of the same last name. Name that movie character's first name. Call us 661-298-5487, or you can message us on Facebook Live at KHTS Radio and win a $25 gift card from Hanu Coffee. Don't answer that question, Patrick. I
even know that question.
Yeah, don't you guys dare.
I'm not very good at trivia.
Yeah, coming up, Bond 25 has a name for its newest installment, which may be the last for Daniel Craig, which was breaking my heart. My favorite Bond right there. You've heard the expression, don't take sand to the beach? Well, don't take sand from this beach if you want to stay out of jail. My Radio Show with Rick Garcia is brought to you by Western Bagel.
I don't know what you're doing in New York. All I know is you ain't on my bedroom floor. I'm seeing you undressed in my room, but it's just a memory, a fantasy.
Right now at IHOP, order any breakfast combo and we'll sweeten the deal with all-you-can-eat pancakes. So get out your all-you-can-eat silverware, because these pancakes aren't gonna all-you-can-eat themselves, because pancakes don't do that. Get IHOP's all-you-can-eat pancakes with any breakfast combo. Or just get the all-you-can-eat pancakes for $4.99. What else you got going on today?
Drug and alcohol use can lead to troubles at school or work, relationship problems, financial or legal difficulties, medical and psychiatric issues. I'm Bob Sheritz, the host of the Way Out Recovery Hour, airing every Monday at noon. The Way Out Recovery Hour features prominent guests and organizations discussing the epidemic of drugs and alcohol in our valley. Don't miss the Way Out Recovery Hour every Monday at noon. Don't lose hope. There is a solution. Knowledge is power. There is the way out.
Coming to the Canyon, Santa Clarita, John Anderson, the voice of Yes, Don McClain, The Association, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, English Beat, Black Flag, Blue Oyster Cult, Puddle of Mud, John B., former Queensryche lead, Jeff Tate, Scott Stapp of Creed, The Motels, Brian Howe of Bad Company, Lita Ford, Doc Inn, Rat, Molly Hatchet, Sir Mix-a-Lot, plus former members of Oingo Boingo, Halloween Party, and more. Borderline Country Nights every Thursday, Salsa Nights every Monday. And remember, the Canyon is the perfect place to host parties and special events. So call 818-661-7237 to book your holiday party today. The Canyon, Santa Clarita, where music meets the soul. Tickets available through Ticketmaster.
Western Bagel has been serving signature bagels, sandwiches, and hand-roasted coffee since 1947. They're family-owned and operated with 11 locations across SoCal, including Santa Clarita on Bouquet and the Old Kmart Shopping Center. Western Bagel makes their own whipped cream cheese, offering over 10 flavors along with other goodies, pastries, cookies, and muffins. Delicious Western Bagels. Check out their Bagel Brad Dill of the Week, emailed to you every Monday when you register at westernbagel.com.
Cal DRE 02078303.
Don't pay high commission fees to sell your home. Pantheon Realty's $4,900 flat listing fee has taken the Santa Clarita Valley by storm. Their sellers save more than $10,000 over costly percent-based fees. Home sellers, finally, the power is in your hands. Get the absolute best representation for one flat fee, $4,900. Pay nothing until you sell. A free 30-minute consultation can save you thousands. Don't throw money away. Book online at PantheonSCV.com. That's PantheonSCV.com. PantheonSCV.com.
Your hometown station.
I love my Dodgers on KHTS.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Feeling isolated.
Who am I?
I love it. Here we go. Who am I?
Who am I? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Get those buzzers and those ding-dings ready.
Ding-dings and buzzers ready. Okay.
All right, here we go with the first one.
Yes.
Actress, best known for her Emmy and Golden Globe winning role as the bookish barmaid Diane Chambers on the hit series
Shelley Long?
Cheers. Yes, ding, 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 ding. Happy birthday, Shelley Long. You are 70 years old today. Wow.
Happy birthday.
Yes. Second one. Okay, these two I had to jump in for tomorrow's birthdays. So August 24th birthdays. Here we go.
Sure.
Stand-up comedian, actor, and co-creator of Chappelle Show. A popular sketch.
Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, ding, 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 ding.
I love Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle, happy
love that
birthday. You are 46 years old today. He's my age.
Gosh, I wish you would do another show. Come on, Dave.
I know. I think
Bring it back.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I love him too. Okay, here we go. This one's going to be a little challenging for you. Legendary NBA three-point shooter who played his entire 18-year career with the Indiana Pacers.
Reggie Miller.
Ah!
I know Reggie. I love Reggie.
Wow, 54 years old. Happy birthday,
He's
Reggie
only
Miller.
54. He seems like 64. What the?
Oh my goodness. You know what? You're
kidding.
awesome.
I'm
Rick
kidding.
is good at this.
Woo-hoo. I didn't
Rick
even-
is
ding,
good.
Ding, ding, nothing there.
Ding, ding, ding. We need more than that one ding. We'll switch it up next week.
Okay. You guys ready for my headlines?
All right, yes.
My headlines.
My headlines brought to you by Western Bagel. A huge weekend series opens up out of Dodger Stadium tonight. The two best teams in Major League Baseball go at it when the Dodgers host the New York Yankees. Hyun-Jin Ryu goes up against James Paxton. You can hear that game here on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. We have some breaking news. Some breaking news to tell you about regarding the Lakers. Dwight Howard is going to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. Apparently his reps have made an agreement on a buyout with the Memphis Grizzlies. So the 33-year-old Howard, who played for the Lakers, and in my opinion underachieved with them the first time around, will sign a one-year contract. They don't need much out of him this time around, so maybe this time Dwight Howard a better fit with the Lakers, so that's going to be cool. The Rams host the Denver Broncos in a preseason game tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at the Coliseum, and you want to get ready if you're driving around SoCal because the Chargers also have a game in Carson at 7 p.m. They're going to take on the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, that's going to be mad traffic.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to try to get around all that. High school football, got underway. I guess it gets underway tonight, although some freshman teams got going yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And every week we're going to do a segment called Friday Night Lights featuring our KHTS sports director, Wyatt Smith. And this time around, he follows around the Canyon High School Cowboys.
Friday Night Lights. Hello, and welcome to Friday Night Lights. I'm Wyatt Smith from the KHTS Sports Department, and this week I went out to Canyon High School football practice to catch up with new head coach Joseph Miali about training camp and how his team is prepared for the season. With the team now putting together its final preparations for the start of the regular season, I asked Coach Miali to describe how he's feeling going into week one.
I'm really excited. This is going to be a great bunch of kids, and they've worked really hard, so we're looking forward to it. And everyone has hope this time of year, so it's exciting.
Part of Miali's excitement stems from the roster he's inherited, and particularly the leaders on the team.
There's a lot of guys who are really excited about it. You always start with the quarterback, and they, of course, get a lot of love. Aiden Litz has really come in and demonstrated himself to be a leader. Him and Evan Cox, they're both our captains. Evan plays defensive end. My first day, we come into lift when I got hired in December, and we're lifting during the holiday break, and they were the first two guys here, and they've been the first two guys here every day. And they're still out in the field right now, and they're the kind of guys you go, okay, this is what Canyon football is about, and their enthusiasm and their leadership is contagious. And so you see, we don't have a ton of missed practices. We have guys out here getting better every day, and that's really the key to changing winning culture.
With the Canyon program coming off of a 2-8 season last year, Coach Miali isn't focused on anything other than helping his team improve week in, week out.
We have to get better every week. It's hard to know where you are, coming in year one, and we have a whole new system. It's just we have to see improvement every week, and it's one of those you can't think too far ahead. I can't worry about all the league games and all the big time guys in the league. We have to worry about tomorrow. Can we get better tomorrow? We're going to execute tomorrow, and then Friday. That's really we focus on Crespi and move from there.
Canyon High School is scheduled to open up the regular season at home against Crespi on Friday night at 7 p.m. in Harry Welch Stadium. Each other team of the Foothill League, with the exception of Golden Valley, starts their season Friday night as well. West Ranch opens up with a home game against Nordhoff High School at 7 p.m. at Valencia High School football field, while Valencia, Hart, and Saugus each open up their season on the road. Valencia travels to face Arcadia High School at 7 p.m., Hart will head for North San Diego to take on Carlsbad High School at 7 p.m. And meanwhile, Saugus starts their season at Granada Hills Charter at 7 p.m. And that's this week's Friday Night Lights. Catch our segment each week on my radio show with Rick Garcia, and for all your Foothill League scores, recaps, and everything Santa Clarita sports. Follow at KHTS Sports on Twitter, like our Facebook page, and go to hometownstation.com.
News to me.
Yes, it is. You've heard the old expression, never take sand to the beach. Well, there's a spot in the world where they say don't take sand from the beach. Apparently, some tourists stole sand from a beach in Sardinia. They could face up to 6 years in prison.
That's off the hook.
Okay,
That's
they're
crazy.
tourists. They're what they did is I guess they stole a large quantity. I mean, 90 pounds. Okay, 90 pounds. I don't know if that's a large quantity. That's hard to carry, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
They put them in a bunch of plastic water bottles. They tried to take them near a beach called near Chia, which is southern Sardinia. I'm guessing, is this near Italy? Would that be where Sardinia is?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And it looks like a beautiful beach.
It's gorgeous. I could see why they're there's not that much sand there,
It's-
so I could see why they're scared.
It's weird because it's very white and beautiful, and apparently people try to steal the sand and the shells and the pebbles because people like to use them in their indoor aquariums.
That's so crazy. Okay, so I've heard that it's bad luck if you steal sand from a beach in Hawaii that has black sand.
Oh,
but I've never heard of anything like this. But I mean, if it's a trend and people are doing it a lot, then you have to put a stop to it.
All right, here's an interesting story. By the way, a true story. Major League Baseball is warning. It sent out a memo, in fact, to all of its teams, warning the players of the very real risk of over-the-counter sexual enhancement pills, because 2 players have been suspended. What's happening is there are some ingredients. Over-the-counter pills, they're not regulated.
They're not
So
regulated.
these
They're in your local
convenience
7-Eleven.
store, right?
Yeah,
So guys
and
are going in, they're getting these enhancement
they're right there on the right-hand side when you
pills
pay for your stuff.
for their trysts,
Yeah.
but it's Major League Baseball very concerned. They said you don't know what are in those pills, and they're showing up on our list of banned ingredients that may show up, chemicals that may show up in your system. 2 players have been suspended because
It's real.
of that drug. Yeah.
Now,
so-
wait, I just have to say.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that came to my mind when I heard about this story was, what are these professional, they have money, and they're cruising into this little store and just grabbing this, $5 thing. That I just thought that was
spur
kind
of the moment. I don't think
I just thought that's what came to my mind. I don't know why.
I'm guessing it wasn't a planned date. This was probably something that just happened
And they're young too. So
late in
anyways.
the evening.
But yeah, that's funny. But it's real.
You went on vacation about a month ago, I think,
Yeah,
right?
Florida.
So I don't know if you know this, but Americans are earning more vacation days, but they're not spending them. 150 million Americans in the workplace left an estimated, listen to this, 768 million days unused last year. That's up 9% from the year before. So 236 million days were forfeited completely, meaning you can't store them.
Yeah, you
right?
can't store them.
I mean, that's unbelievable. Where'd our music go, Patrick? You can start it over again.
It timed out. I'm sorry, Rick.
You can't start it over?
I can restart it over, yeah.
We're overachievers,
See?
Evidently, huh?
Oh, I see. It does it from the beginning. There,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah. So anyway, there you go. We start using your vacation days, people.
Unless you work at a school district, your vacation days hop over.
They carry
to the-
over.
Yeah,
Do
they carry over.
I love that.
Interesting.
Are you not entertained?
In a Hollywood Minute.
That still makes me laugh.
Bond 25 has an official title. This is the 25th adventure of the super spy. April 2020, the new movie comes out, and it's called No Time to Die. It is the 4th 007 movie to feature the word die or dies. The predecessors Live and Let Die, Tomorrow Never Dies, Die Another Day. This is also believed to be Daniel Craig's last movie. My favorite Bond, by the way.
Oh, no.
My favorite Bond.
But question is, who's going to be the Bond girl?
Boy, that is a good
That's
question.
what I was
and the
wondering when
villain.
you-
They have announced the villain. I think I don't know about the Bond girl, but we'll see. I mean, I think, and I enjoyed the Bond franchise.
Me
I
too.
loved it with Sean Connery especially, but I really, really like it with Daniel Craig. He's been perfect. How about Spider-Man is leaving the MC universe?
No.
Marvel apparently has broken up. Well, Disney and Sony have broken up with each other, I should say. Disney, I guess, controls one part of Marvel. Sony has Spider-Man, and so they're kicking Spider-Man out of the MC universe because the Marvel universe because apparently they can't strike a deal. Disney
That's going to make a lot of kids unhappy.
Oh, my gosh.
I know my son for one.
They want to share, the costs of making these films. They cost so much money, and these actors make a ton on it. It prompted a couple of Marvel Universe stars, Jeremy Renner, who plays Hawkeye, to say, no, please bring back Spider-Man.
Right.
And even Ryan Reynolds said, oh, my gosh, I can't believe you're doing this. Ryan Reynolds was tweeted by somebody who said, can we get a Spider-Man and Deadpool movie now?
Ooh.
Ryan Reynolds' response, you can, but you can only see it in my heart.
Oh.
That's a good one.
That's Ryan. Oh my gosh, the second Once Upon a Deadpool was hilarious.
I love Deadpool.
I was laughing so hard on the plane. I mean,
Yes.
they almost had to shush me on the flight to Hawaii. The Rock is married.
Oh,
Does
no.
that break your heart?
Well,
Here's the
yeah,
thing.
I'm a fan, but yeah, that's okay.
He married his longtime girlfriend Lauren Hashian in
Good for
Hawaii,
them.
and so they finally made it official.
All right.
And by the way, her timing couldn't be better because
Why?
The Rock has been declared the highest paid male actor in the world.
Oh, yes, yes.
He's making an eyebrow-raising $89.4 million, which he made between June of this year and June of last year.
Amazing.
Here's the thing about The Rock. Not the greatest actor in the world, right? As we know. Doesn't make they're not all the best movies you've ever seen, but he's so darn charming.
He is.
So
He's
charming.
very likable, and I
Very.
like to watch him,
And
whatever he does.
I had a chance to interview him a couple of years ago.
Oh,
and
you're so lucky.
As sweet as they come. Just a joy to talk to. And so you always wish and root for people like that they have a lot of success. He's followed up on the, as number one on the list by two of Avengers Endgame stars, Chris Hemsworth, who's at number 2 with an estimated $76.5 million. Robert Downey Jr., also number 3 with $68 million. And fellow Avengers, and then Bradley Cooper, Chris Evans, and Paul Rudd are also in the top 10. So it pays to be part of the Marvel universe, does it not?
Yes, it does.
Do you guys, do you know who Ronda Rousey is?
Yes.
I do, yes.
Uh-huh.
Mixed martial arts fighter and who was very
Where's she
successful.
been? Yeah.
WWE wrestling. Well, she got beat up pretty bad
I
in mixed
know, I
martial
saw
arts.
that, yeah.
Moved into pro wrestling and she's also making movies. So she was shooting a 911 television series on Fox. Nearly lost her finger. I mean, it was.
I saw this on
it
the
was
news.
Apparently, the first scene that they were shooting at that time, and a door somehow fell on her finger, and she finished the scene and then went to the director and said, "I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue."
Wow.
And so they rushed her to the hospital. Her finger had to be pretty much reattached.
Oh my goodness! And if you look on the news, you could see her face. You could tell she's hurt, but not hurt enough to where she's a tough one.
Oh, she's
a
so
tough
tough.
cookie
She's very
because she
tough,
didn't look
yeah.
like her finger was falling off when they showed her.
No, that.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be tough to let people pound you in the
Right,
ring. And
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Looking for something to do this weekend?
Santa Clarita Nights.
Hometown.
Things to do this weekend in the Santa Clarita Valley.
Your community station.
It's Menji, and this week in our valley, tickets are now on sale for the 8th annual Comics for a Cause. Concerts in the Park, Erotic City, a Prince tribute. It's Carousel Ranch's 23rd annual Heart of the West. Tickets are now on sale for Circle of Hope's Hoedown for a Hope, a barbecue competition. And it's the SCV Chamber Commerce of Business After Hours Mixer. Did you know there's even more things to do in Santa Clarita when you head to hometownstation.com and sign up for our weekly newsletter?
Your hometown station.
I want to mention what's in theaters now, and I then think you're going to mention some of our Facebook friends in a second. If you are looking to go see a movie, Angel Has Fallen. We were talking about that earlier. One of our Facebook friends recommended that also. Gerard Butler, Morgan Freeman, Jada Pinkett Smith. And this is after an assassination attempt on the U.S. president, played by guess who? Morgan Freeman. His trusted confidant, Secret Service agent Mike Banning, is wrongfully accused. This is part of the Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen franchise. I
gotta go check
I
that
loved
out.
Olympus Has Fallen. London Has Fallen was also pretty darn good. Ready or Not. It's a horror, mystery, suspense movie. Samara Weaving and Adam Brody are in it, also Andy McDowell, and it follows a young couple, a young bride who goes home to meet her husband's rich, eccentric family, and they decide to have play game night, which has some horrible consequences.
see
I'll just
that
leave
one.
it at that. It's about an hour and 35 minutes, rated R. So is Angel Has Fallen. Yes.
KHTS Radio Facebook Live. We want to mention Rod. Rod said, "I want to see Rick's replay."
Yes.
Rod also said, "Take another look."
I think I know this, Rod, and he's seen plenty of Rick's replays over the years. He probably.
I want to see Take Another. I want to
Take
see
Another
Rick's-
Look. That was one of those. We would show highlights of something in a game, and then I would do the over-the-top broadcaster voice and say, "Take another look," and we'd rewind the play. And sometimes you'd see a player falling on his face or something, and I'd say, "Boy, I don't want to make fun of people. Take another look." And we'd show it again in slow-mo.
We need a My Radio Show version of that.
I think we're almost out of time here.
Oh, no.
Dodgers and Yankees tonight on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM at 7:10 tonight. Thank you, April Duran.
Thank you.
Patrick Suika, you guys have a great weekend, right?
Absolutely,
I hope.
yeah.
You too.
Aaron De La Torre is going to be with you on your drive home, and then we're going to see you next Friday between 1 and 3 p.m. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All
Stay
right.
safe.
Bye.